Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're just going to be talking books. I have a couple things to discuss, like books I read recently. I got some new books from Amazon and like my book TBR and stuff like that. So yeah. Also maybe like some book recommendations of books you probably have never heard of but are still really good. So yeah, just nothing really specific, just like general talking about books. So yeah, let's get into it. So first, I want to start with my summer TBR. That's what this is right here because I had to like write it down on paper because my first list that I made is on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone. So that's what this is. So the first on my list is Love and Gelato by Sarah Wallace Welsh or something. I don't know. I didn't write down the authors. So it's Love and Gelato, which is a romance book based in Italy. Rome. Rome is in Italy. Okay. Scratch that. It's Love and Gelato. It's based in Rome, I think. Yeah, I think it's whatever. It's Love and Gelato is the first book on my summer TBR. The second one is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, I think. That's like a fantasy book, you know? Actually, all three books in the series, not the novellas, because I don't really like reading novellas when it comes to series. But all three of those books, The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing, are the next three books on my TBR. I want to get back into fantasy because ever since I read Carnival and didn't like it, as you might know from my last video, I read Carnival by Stephanie Garber. I didn't like it. Hot take. I just didn't. I mean, like, the world was confusing. Like, I could never picture where they were because it was so confusing. That was one of the issues with that book. Like, I need to be able to picture, like, the characters and the setting, you know? But yeah, people say this series is really good, and I don't have super high expectations for the romance because a lot of people have said that they went into it thinking it would be more focused on the romance, but the romance is more subplotted, and I understand that. So I'm not gonna complain about that after I read these books. But yeah. So this is kind of like fantasy's redemption. Hopefully this series is good because if it's not, I might never read fantasy again. I don't know. Because fantasy isn't my favorite genre. My favorite genre? What is my favorite genre? I think it's like romance, like coming of age. Those two in the same book. And then it's like I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, I guess it would be mysteries and then like mystery thrillers, second place, and then third place fantasy. I don't read dark romance, so that's not even on the list. I mean, like, sometimes I read fantasy. Sometimes I do. Sometimes. Very rarely. I mean, like, I read Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. That's a fantasy book. I would say that's fantasy because it has, like, magic and, like, potions and this wood, this forest that comes alive when you enter it, and it's like really dangerous, and like the trees are like literally reaching out, you know, and there's like these creatures and stuff, and like this like family line of female witches who have like these, each have a specific ability and each one is different. That's what Winterwood is about. So that's pretty sure that's fantasy. So one of my favorite books of all time is actually fantasy, because Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw, you need to read it. It is so good. It has romance. It's not really subplotted, not really, because that's more what it's focused about. It's focused about Oliver and I don't remember the FMC's name, but yeah, it switches between Oliver and FMC's two POVs, you know. So it's like, it's romantasy basically. A fantasy book is one of my top 5, and yet it's my least favorite genre. But anyways, the Cruel Prince series, or the Folk of the Air, I think is what it's called. The Folk of the Air series will be, maybe it'll bump it up to 2 and bump Mystery down. Who knows? The next book on my TBR list is Six of Crows by Lee Lay or something, like Baradigo or something. I don't know. Her name has always looked complicated to me when I've seen it written out. Again, I don't have the authors written down, but Six of Crows, that's also a fantasy book. I almost bought it one time at Barnes & Noble's. I think I bought, what did I buy instead? I was gonna buy that, Six of Crows, and Carvel. That was my first option, and then my other option would be the first 2 books in the Inheritance game series. But obviously, if you've watched my last video, you know that I chose the Inheritance games first 2 books, and then I went back later and got the 3rd book. Yeah. So yeah, Six of Crows. That's also like a group of misfits, you know, I don't know, trying to get out of somewhere or something. I don't really know the plot. I also know that there's like romance in it and stuff, so yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna do Six of Crows for my summer reading assignment. I think I lost the paper for that, which sucks, but maybe they don't take the assignments until like October. They didn't last year, so maybe I can, once we get back to school, I can get a new paper and then do it then. I think I'll remember enough. Yeah, I think I'll remember enough. Or I'll just find the paper. Yeah. Anyways, Six of Crows. And then Borrow My Heart by Casey West. I love Casey West. My favorite book of all time is by her, Places That We've Never Been. So yeah, Borrow My Heart by Casey West. It's like this boy and this girl who work at a animal shelter together, so yeah. And then from my last video, you probably know, if you watched it, keep saying that, that I checked out from the library the first book of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder in like February or something. Okay, so hopefully I was able to edit these 2 clips together. I keep doing this. I did this last time, but anyways, I was on TBR and I think I had stopped at Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I think that's on my TBR. Yeah. So Good Girl Bad Blood, because I've already read AGGTM. And so Good Girl Bad Blood and As Good as Dead. I've heard As Good as Dead emotionally wrecks people, so guys, let's go get depressed. Anyways, the next one is Picking Daisies on Sundays. This one, they didn't have it in stock at my local Barnes and Nobles, and two, there were 11 holds already for the copies they have in my public library. 11 holds? No, I'm not waiting that long. It'll be next summer by the time all those holds are over with and done, you know. Because people like to check out library books, read them, and then they just sit on their bedroom floor right there for like a month. I totally don't do that, guys. I totally don't. Anyways, so the next one is one that I don't really know a whole bunch about. It's We Were Liars. I've heard that's a really good one. It's like somebody gets like a head injury or something, and there's like a whole mystery. It's something to do with family or something. I'm assuming from the title it has something to do with something that happened in the past. I keep saying something a lot. It's like when people say like a lot, like, you know, except with something. Anyways, the next one, the last one I have on my list, I'm gonna grow the list a little bit. I think I'm gonna complete the page. It's not a very long page, but I'm not doing community theater this summer because I'm going to France, and it's on choir tour. So we have rehearsals and stuff, and that conflicts with the rehearsals for the community theater. What the show they're doing, the rehearsals for that. So I wouldn't be a lot of the rehearsals for like half of the rehearsals. So I would be a background character, you know? There would be no point really. Also, I didn't want to do the musical they're doing. So anyways, since I'm not doing that this summer, after I go to France, I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands. Between then and I think the first week of August is when I'm going to this Christian teen camp. For like 5 days. I don't know if my best friend's going. She might be. She went last year. So I think she's going. I don't know. I hope she is. But anyways, so the last one on my TBR list, again, I still have to grow it, is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Nobody's ever said this one is sad. Not really. It just happens to be in their books where it's like, and remember kids, with the sound that's like, and remember kids, somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that. Oh, yes they would, and then music plays and they show the books. It's usually just there. Nobody really says anything about it. They mostly say it about the first 3 books, specifically Mockingjay, and obviously Sunrise on the Reaping. I've heard it's pretty sad. I already know some spoilers. Like, the thing I do is I go on Book Talk and I tell myself, I'm never gonna read this book, so even though it's a spoiler, I'm still gonna watch the video and learn all the spoilers. And then I go and I do these things where, where I read books because I'm suddenly interested. Have I told you my plan for why I am reading The Hunger Games? In case I didn't, I'm gonna say it again, and you're gonna have to sit through it. My apologies. But basically, I love Elle Fanning. Elle Fanning is the queen. Elle Fanning is Elle Fanning, and I love her. She's such a good actress. I loved her in the second Maleficent movie she was in. I couldn't watch the first one because it wasn't on Disney Plus. Why is the second one on Disney Plus but not the first one? It's like the thing they did with the Spider-Man movies. First 2, but not the third one? Hello? And then it's like nowhere. You can't watch it anywhere and whatever. Anyways, so I watched her in the second Maleficent movie she was in, and We Bought a Farm or something. We Bought a Zoo. We Bought a Zoo. I love that movie. It's such a good movie. You should watch it. Anyways, so I love her acting. She's so pretty. I love her. I love her personality. She sounds like my aunt, so that's even better. Um, so yeah, she's casted to be Effie in the movie that they're making of Sunrise on the Reaping. So yeah, she's casted to be Effie Trinket. Honestly, I don't. Please don't hate me for this. I don't hate Effie. I kind of like her personality. I get it. She's a little bit too enthusiastic about teenagers and kids going to kill each other in an arena forcibly, like they have no choice if they're picked. She's a little too enthusiastic about that. But I don't hate her personality. She's like bubbly, or something like that, kind of, you know. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Okay, so Elle Fanning is gonna be Effie Trinket, and I want to go see that movie because I use all my excuses to go see Elle Fanning in movie theaters. And so yeah, and I want to be able to know what's going on. So I decided I'm going to read all of the Hunger Games books just for the purpose of knowing what's going on when I go see the movies in theaters. I read The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I probably already told you this part. But not Mockingjay. There's no point because I know what happens. I know who dies. I know who dies. That's not a spoiler because obviously somebody's gonna die. Obviously somebody's gonna die. So, I keep not looking at the camera. But yeah. I guess that's not a spoiler. Sorry if you haven't read Mockingjay yet. But yeah, I know who dies. It's too late. It's too late now to go back. So I know who dies, and I know how it ends. Cause somebody posted this thing on Pinterest where it was like a picture of the last page and then like it was annotated and stuff. But that's not the reason. That was just recent. And then movie clips. These darn movie clips. You're like, oh hey, it's a movie clip. I love movie clips. It was a spoiler for basically all 3 books, because now you know how the series ends. So you basically, Anyways, so that was how I found out a YouTube movie clip. And like, yeah. So there's no point in reading Mockingjay because I know what happens. I've read the first 34 pages. I got it from the library, so I'm gonna return it sometime soon. But there's just no point in reading it because I don't want to, and I don't want to get my heart ripped out of my chest because people say it's sad. And I know it is. And spoiler warning, if you haven't read it yet, just skip over this part. I'll give you 3 seconds to skip over it. Okay. I like Finnick. I don't want him to die, and I know he's gonna die. It's gonna be a painful death because he gets eaten by these sewer monsters or something. That's what the movie clip was. That was scary. Oh my gosh. That was scary. And honestly, I like Finnick. He's funny. He's funny, He's funny. And then Prem, y'all might hate me for this, but honestly, I don't care if she dies. Is that bad? Is that bad? I haven't gotten attached to her, She's hardly been there, She was just a few sentences, and then Katniss mentions her every 5 pages, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm sorry. Please don't come for me, but maybe it'll be sad if I skip ahead and find the part where she dies. But I think what would be the worst part about this book is one, Peeta, I don't know, does his memory get wiped or something? I think the worst part of it would be Gale. Because honestly, he PMO. PMO, bro. PMO. Because, like, what are you doing? He's a walking red flag. He's so desperate. Gale is just so desperate, you know? If you skip to this part for the spoilers, I'm gonna put in the description where you should skip to when the spoilers stop, because I'm gonna keep talking about spoilers. So, just look in the description. Anyways, Gale, he's a walking red flag. Katniss, how can you not see that? If I can see that, and I'm younger than you. They say the older the wiser, but obviously not. He's a walking red flag, and he is so desperate. He is so desperate for you, and it's not. He's just desperate for everything, and he has a temper. Like, honestly, if a guy has a little bit of anger issues, that's okay, because I kind of do too. Like, I get mad really easily. But, like, man has anger issues. I'm sorry. Also, like, he doesn't have nearly as much chemistry with Katniss as Peeta does. Also, Gale, like, how could I forget this? Gale, like, kills, like, a whole bunch of children. Dude, are you insane? What made you... Rebellion? My butt, okay? Gale should have died just for that. I was like, oh no, he should have died. He shouldn't have died because, you know, he was an example of the ugly parts of war or something. Dude, there was enough ugly for the war. What are you talking about? Anyways, I should stop talking now. You know my plan. Read all of the Hunger Games books, even if it means getting my heart wrenched out from Sunrise on the Reaping, just so I can see Elle Fanning in theaters. I'm probably gonna buy Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And just that one. I don't know. I mean, like, if it's like just the hardback cover, I think it is. Just the hard. It might not be though, because it came out in like 2021. I think. But like, if it's still just the hardback cover and it's like $22, like it is for the hardback cover for Sunrise on the Reaping, then I'm not gonna get it. I'm just gonna go to the library. Boom. Shakalaka. Problem solved. Anyways, so that was the TBR. Gonna need a moment to think about what we're gonna do next. Okay, so now we are gonna talk about this beautiful masterpiece of a book right here. It was so good I started annotating it. Okay, I don't do that. I don't annotate. Okay, annotate, whatever. I don't annotate books because I just don't. I never saw the point until this like emotional stuff, you know. But it's like you just need to annotate it because you need to underline this stuff and highlight it. You need to remember it. There's so much good stuff in here. Like there's so many good quotes that you could make a Pinterest board, like a Pinterest like collage out of the amount of good quotes in this. Like there's like, you know, the dedication that an author puts at the very beginning of the book. And then sometimes they put like a quote or something. This person put a quote here. I'll give you a little bit to read it. You probably should have paused it, so go back and pause it if you can read it. And I'm sorry if my camera quality is so stinking bad that it won't allow you to see it, but I'm going to read it to you. Stories aren't fiction, stories are fabric. They're the white sheets we drape over our ghosts so we can see them. Roscoe Avenger, Sweet Mallow. That's a pretty good quote, you know, and it sounds like something that like a wise person would have said from, you know, like 10 years ago. Nope. Sarah Addison Allen. There's nobody on Earth. There's no Roscoe Avenger does not exist. Sarah Addison Allen can write. Like, she has some emotional crap in here. She was so creative with the characters' like past and stuff. She was pretty darn creative. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. Like, I'm not even gonna talk about it because nobody watching this has probably read it, because even though it says New York Times bestseller, I've never heard of it before until I went to Ollie's and went to the book section. I hardly paid attention to what it said in the synopsis. I just searched up if it had spice or not, because obviously I don't need spice. I mean, like, come on. I'm not 18. I'm not even 18. Honestly, I'm not even gonna get into that. We don't need to talk about that. But, I mean, like, I'm way too young to be reading spice. Also, it makes me so uncomfortable. Because sometimes, you know, I'll read a book, and like, one time I bought a book from Barnes & Nobles, right? And it said 12 and up on the website for the age recommendation. And I was like, I don't need to search up if it has spice or not. It probably wouldn't say 12 and up if it had spice in it, because no 12-year-old would be reading a book that has spice in it. I was dead wrong. I was wrong. I was like 30 pages away from finishing the book, and it was a good book too. And boom, spice. It was weird too. Like, at the school you go to. Okay, don't. I'm not even gonna get into it because that's weird. But hello, I'm sorry. It's called Every Last Word if you want to read it. Like, if you're okay with spice, it's like a very short scene. You know, I tried to skip to the next chapter, but I was just so uncomfortable I didn't even want to read a single more page of that book. It was like 2 pages long, so if you're okay with a little bit of spice, you'll probably like this book. I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore because it still infuriates me today, because I spent like $12 on that, and then we had to return it, you know, because obviously you lied to me. What 12-year-old would read that? Would be allowed to read that? Whatever. Anyways, I've gotten off topic once again. I'll read the synopsis to you, but the synopsis doesn't quite capture the beautifulness of this book. Like, it's one of those books, you might not like this because I know some people don't, that has a bunch of POVs. Like, it's like 6 or 7 different POVs. Some more common than others. Like, 3 of the characters, Zoe, Charlotte, and Mac, their POVs are most common. And then Oliver, unfortunately, Oliver is my favorite character, but unfortunately, Oliver, Camille, and Elizabeth probably have the least. Oh, Lucy probably the least of all, because it's like at the very end that she has a point of view chapter. And you have to figure out why that is, because you'll have to read the book. This is one of my all-time favorites now because it was just so good. I could read this again. Like, before I read the synopsis, I promise you I will. I'll try not to get so off track. But, it's like regular fiction, you know, it's like Found Family. It's Found Family with subplotted romance. For kind of like there's like 1.5 romantic relationships going on, because these two characters, and I'm not going to spoil who it is, but there's two characters who definitely have like romance going on, and it's obvious. And there's other two characters where you can, like, there's a little bit of chemistry, just a little bit. And something that's said at the end makes me think that beyond this book, what's not written, they probably got together, which is amazing. But there's like no spice in this. Like, literally, they don't even kiss, which infuriated me. Anyways, so yeah, it's like found family, kind of a little bit of coming of age because of Zoe. She's definitely the most used point of view. Kind of coming of age. Yeah, found family, slight coming of age, slight romance, a little bit, just a tiny bit of fantasy, kind of, because it's kind of like a whimsical world. Like, in real life, if this would be the real thing, it'd probably be pretty realistic, but it just feels, when you're reading it, you get like those fantasy vibes. It's not exactly fantasy, but it's like fantasy vibes. And they're like ghosts and stuff. Not really like super scary ghosts. Not really. Because they're not. Well, one of them will tick you off. Some of you. The other one, we all love. I might as well expose who it is, but Lisbeth will tick you off probably. She's a ghost. And then Camille, that's not a spoiler. That's a spoiler. You find that out pretty early on. But Camille, the second ghost. Oh my gosh. What the heck was that? I just bumped my head on these freaking boards. I need a new bed. I need my own room. Camille, you'll love her because she's so sweet. She's so nice. Yeah. And anyways, I'm gonna read the synopsis now. So yeah. Down a narrow alley in the small coastal town of Mallow Island, South Carolina, lies a stunning cobblestone building comprised of 5 apartments. It's called the Deloisp, and it is named after the tiny turquoise birds who, alongside its human tenants, inhabit an air of magical secrecy. See? I'm not the only one who thinks that. Newcomer Zoe Hennessy is intrigued by her quirky, enigmatic, neighbors. A girl on the run, a grieving chef whose comfort food does not comfort him, 2 estranged middle-aged sisters, and 3 ghosts, each with their own story, each with their own longings, each whose ending isn't written yet. When one of her neighbors dies, Lisbeth, under odd circumstances, the night Zoe arrives, she is thrust into the mystery of the Deloisp, which involves missing pages from a legendary writer whose work might be hidden there. She soon discovers that the people around her are in as much need of healing from wrongs of the past that she is. To find their way, they have to learn how to trust each other, confront their deepest fears, and let go of what haunts them. Okay, I'm gonna go through the last part and see what quotes I annotated. I'm gonna read them to you. Oop. Oh. Well, this part isn't a quote, but it was kind of cute, and I'm not gonna read it to you because it's gonna spoil one of the couples thing. But it was the cutest thing ever, and it had me smiling and blushing, and it was just so cute. It was absolutely adorable, and that's another reason why he needs to this book. I promise you, you'll love it. You might find it a little bit boring at first, but it gets better and you have to push through. Okay? Oh, wait. Okay, here's one. I didn't annotate it, but here's one. It is love, even if you're not loved back. It is. That's all. Oh! Stop. Okay, well... I don't know where it is. The one... I don't know why I'm still recording this while I'm looking for it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay. So there's like parts of it where it's like ghost stories, where it's like the ghost's point of view, and it's like in a different font. That's how you know. Okay, so this is Camille, the second ghost. This is one of her point of views. She has a few. She has a few chapters. Children, don't hold on to old love so hard you forget to live. Old love isn't the only love you'll ever have, and I can tell you from this side that it never really goes away anyway. So let go. Whatever you're holding on to, let go. It's a pretty nice quote. I love Camille, even though she's dead. Look. Anyways, so hopefully that convinced you to read Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen, because it's in my top 5. I haven't exactly placed it yet, but it's in my top 5 now, which is pretty good. Like, if you can bump out the books that are in my top 5 right now, it's pretty diggity dang darn good. Also, if you have like a book club or something, you can like, there's like, it's like one of those books that has like bonuses, like things for like questions that you can, like discussion questions. It has discussion questions. Yep. Okay. So there's that. Next and final thing, because this video is gonna be way too long. We're gonna talk about the books that I bought. I bought 7. Let's get into that. Happy birthday to nobody, because it is not my birthday. But I got a total of 7 books off of Amazon. Tip: if you're looking to save some money, buy your books off of Amazon, because it's so much cheaper. It's like new copies too, but yeah, it's so much cheaper than buying it off of, because I was gonna get 5 books originally on Barnes & Noble's, and it was gonna be $66 because I was gonna pick it up at the store. But we have free shipping right now because we have this odd little free trial or something that just randomly appeared on Amazon Prime. So we have free shipping right now, so I took advantage of that. And so without the shipping, it'd basically be the same thing as picking it up in store, because it'd be like the same price. There's no shipping anyways. And I got 7 books instead, and I put it in my cart, and it was only $47. So 66, 47, that's almost a $20 difference. It's $19, but I got 7 books. Let's get into what books it was. Before I do this series, I'm just gonna start with this was the hiccups. This was the first book in the trilogy. I didn't get the other 2 because I didn't see the need to. Because it's not all connected. It's like different stories. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welsh. It's a romance book. I'm not really going to get into what they're about, but I got Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welsh. I'm excited to read this. I'm going to Europe, as you know, so I'm going to bring this there to read in my hotel as I look out over the city. So yeah. Then, let's get into the 2 series that I bought in full, except for the novella in one of them, because I don't like novellas. I read the Natural series, and I tried to read the novella for that. No thanks. I got boring. I got bored, like, 5 pages in, and, like, it was kind of cringe slightly. Maybe it's just me. I can't take anything seriously anymore. After a book I read, While We're Young by Kayla Walther, don't read it. You might have liked Summer of Broken Rules, but don't read While We're Young, okay? Don't read it. It's cringy as heck. Okay, anyways. I got the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series in full. I didn't get Killjoy, because it's a murder mystery party or something like that. I don't want that! I don't want to read that! Good Girl, Bad Blood, and then As Good as Dead. You know? Pippa solving mysteries, getting depressed because things happen when you solve mysteries and try to expose the truth. People get hurt. Don't do it, kids. Anyways, is it just me, or do I love the cover for As Good as Dead? It's just so... I just like the look of it. I don't know. Is that weird because it's duct tape? And that might mean something. You can read my mind. Because I know the spoilers for this because I searched it up on Google. So I know what happens. But I don't know what happens in this book. I don't know what happened to Jamie. But I know what happens in this book. And I know it gets bad. So I'm totally ready to get emotionally damaged. But anyways, since I've already read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, because I checked it out at the library in February, I'm currently reading Good Girl, Bad Blood. That's my current read. So, and then the other series that I got, which is the final 3 books, that again, I didn't get the novella. I got the Folk of the Air series, Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing. I don't like the cover for this one so much. It's just not. I like these 2 covers though. This one's nice. This one's nice. But yeah. I'm actually pretty excited to read this because people say it's like one of those books where the guy falls first and then harder, which I love, you know. I understand the romance is subplotted. I already explained this in the video. So, but I am excited to read this, which is good, because I was kind of nervous at first. But again, this is Fantasy's redemption because of Carvel and the confusion, and it just hurt my head to read it. It hurt my head, genuinely, and then the plot twist angered the crap out of me. So yeah. Those are the books I got. This is what my reading life has looked like lately. I end school on Monday. I'm going, even though it's a half day, and like nobody's gonna be there, and my teachers are gonna hate me because they're gonna be like, especially my Spanish teacher and my gym teacher, they're gonna be like, Claire, what the heck are you doing here? I'm gonna be like, hey, it's your favorite, not, definitely not. Well, I'm not a bad kid, but we're not getting into school right now because it's almost over. I'm so close. So close. Although I'm really gonna miss my friends. We're gonna hang out though because we have a group chat and we're planning to hang out and we're gonna hang out. We're planning on doing it at my friend's community pool. Not my community pool, it's too small. Way too small. And there's already a whole bunch of kids there. And then the slide is metal. Sitting in the hot sun. Plus, how am I supposed to slide down that? Like, I could be like, yeah, soaked or whatever. But like, it's metal. Why is it metal? I hate metal slides. I don't like metal slides. I've had bad experiences with them. One time, this is like one of those memories where you can't tell if it's a dream or not. But I know, like, it's just so distant in your mind. And you only remember, like, some parts of it. I remember going to, I guess, my dad's friend's house. There were, like, these boys there. And one of, like, I guess, my dad's friend's sons or something. It was, like, a big house with a whole bunch of people in it. You know, and then one of his sons went sliding on the slide, you know, landed on his feet. But there was a mud puddle at the bottom of the slide. And guess who didn't land on her feet when she slid down the slide? Me. So I got mud all over my butt, and it looked like I crapped myself, even though I didn't. Even though it really didn't, realistically didn't look like I crapped myself, but it didn't look stylish. How did we get here? How am I talking about metal slides? Okay, so I'm gonna end the video here before I talk your ear off about more random crap that nobody gives two craps about. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Look at my beautiful books. Beautiful books. Go buy yourself some books. It will make you happy for 5 seconds, and then you'll go back to being not sad. Regular, I guess. It'll give you happiness for 5 seconds. See ya. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, I guess. This video will probably come out tomorrow because tonight I think I'm just gonna read and try to get past the boring part of this stupid book because it's kind of boring so far, and I can't DNF it because I bought it and I need to read it now. I only DNF it if it's from the library or it's a birthday present because I didn't pay for it. And you know, I try not to DNF birthday presents, but Girl in Pieces was getting weird, so I DNF'd it. I'm sorry. It was a birthday present, but shouldn't have put that on my list because that was weird. Weird and creepy. Like, ooh, you're 17 and he's 27? That might be a spoiler. Oopsies. Whatever. Anyways. Gonna go read. So, thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you have an amazing summer. Even though I'm gonna see you multiple times before summer ends. See you. Talk to you. Have a great summer, and peace out, man.